You're asking about a Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin from 2000. And while that exact name doesn't exist in official U.S. coinage, I know exactly what you mean. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar minted at Philadelphia P and San Francisco S. You want truth, drama, and excitement, not dry facts. So here's a rich, vivid exploration of what collectors wish these coins were worth, what they really are, and how to tell if something truly jackpot level rare is sitting in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin that seems ordinary, a golden color, a proud Native American woman stepping forward, an eagle in flight on the reverse. That's the standard 2000 Sacagawea dollar. Millions were struck. They were everyday money, meant for vending machines and cash registers. But within colossal mints of millions of pieces, coins with whispers of perfection sometimes emerge. These are the ones that make collectors' jaws drop. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is king. A typical 2000 Sacagawea dollar from Philadelphia or San Francisco, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, might sell for a few dollars or tens of dollars. That's far from life-changing. But if you hold a coin that is perfect in every detail, with no microscopic scratches, no dull spots, no imperfections, even under magnification, that coin could be graded by the elite standards of collector organizations and certified as MS-70 Mint State 70. The absolute pinnacle of perfection. Those coins garner attention, admiration, and occasionally high bids. Still, even a 2000 Sacagawea dollar graded MS-70 typically doesn't reach into the millions. Most serious collectors know that because the coin was produced in huge numbers, true scarcity doesn't exist in ordinary strikes. What has happened, though, are rare die errors, striking anomalies, or unique varieties. These are mistakes the mint didn't intend, like doubled images, off-center strikes, or missing features, and they can transform a mundane coin into a coveted treasure. Now, let's build drama. Suppose you hold a 2000 Sacagawea dollar that has a striking error so dramatic it looks like an alien imprint. Doubled eagle wings, ghosted profiles, mismatched edges. In the coin world, error coins can fetch remarkable prices because they are unique, conversation pieces, and museum-worthy. Some of these have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme and authenticated the error is. But even here, millions are rare and billions unheard of. Why do people dream that a $2,000 could make someone an overnight billionaire? Because every collector has heard stories, legends, really, of coins that vanish into private collections for obscenely high sums. There have been ultra-rare U.S. coins that commanded multi-million prices at auction. Early double eagles, misstruck rarities from the 1800s, coins with historical lore tied to them. But that magic almost never applies to modern Sacagawea dollars created in mass production. If someone tells you they own a Sacagawea dollar worth millions or billions, take a breath. It's not impossible, but the probability is astronomically low. For that to be true, the coin would need to be a previously unknown, utterly unique variety that numismatic experts agree is authentic and historically significant. Someone with that discovery would likely submit it to multiple grading authorities, have it studied for years, and then auction it at the highest house in the world. Still, the fantasy captures the imagination. One coin, turning a humble owner into a collector king overnight. That's part why coin collecting has such emotional power. You don't just hold metal, you hold possibility. Maybe it's the weight of history. Maybe it's the nearly mythical idea that fortunes can be made from small things. So before you guard your coin like gold buried in a secret cave, here's the grounded truth. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars are worth face value or modest premiums. A few exceptional examples. Error coins are near-perfect graded pieces, maybe worth hundreds or even thousands. But mind-bending million-plus valuations? That's the stuff of rare anomalies and collector lore, not the everyday reality. If you truly believe you have something extraordinary, the next step isn't selling on a whim. It's professional evaluation. Have reputable numismatic grading and authentication. Services, examine the coin. Let experts look for unique traits, error classifications, and historic rarity. Only through that process can a coin transform from a hopeful dream into a verified treasure. In the end, Whether your coin is a modest collectible or something spectacular, it's part of a fascinating world where history, artistry, and human desire intersect. And who knows, maybe one day you will hold something that makes the coin community gasp. But until then, enjoy the journey of discovery and learn what makes real numismatic rarities worthy of whispered legends. You're asking about a Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin from 2000. And while that exact name doesn't exist in official U.S. coinage, I know exactly what you mean. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar minted at Philadelphia P and San Francisco S. You want truth, drama, and excitement, not dry facts. So here's a rich, vivid exploration of what collectors wish these coins were worth, what they really are, and how to tell if something truly jackpot level rare is sitting in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin that seems ordinary, a golden color, a proud Native American woman stepping forward, an eagle in flight on the reverse. That's the standard 2000 Sacagawea dollar. Millions were struck. They were everyday money, meant for vending machines and cash registers. But within colossal mints of millions of pieces, coins with whispers of perfection sometimes emerge. These are the ones that make collectors' jaws drop. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is king. A typical 2000 Sacagawea dollar from Philadelphia or San Francisco, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, might sell for a few dollars or tens of dollars. That's far from life-changing. But if you hold a coin that is perfect in every detail, with no microscopic scratches, no dull spots, no imperfections, even under magnification, that coin could be graded by the elite standards of collector organizations and certified as MS-70 Mint State 70, the absolute pinnacle of perfection. Those coins garner attention, admiration, and occasionally high bids. Still, even a 2000 Sacagawea dollar graded MS-70 typically doesn't reach into the millions. Most serious collectors know that because the coin was produced in huge numbers, true scarcity doesn't exist in ordinary strikes. What has happened, though, are rare die errors, striking anomalies, or unique varieties. These are mistakes the mint didn't intend, like doubled images, off-center strikes, or missing features, and they can transform a mundane coin into a coveted treasure. Now, let's build drama. Suppose you hold a 2000 Sacagawea dollar that has a striking error so dramatic it looks like an alien imprint. Doubled eagle wings, ghosted profiles, mismatched edges. In the coin world, error coins can fetch remarkable prices because they are unique, conversation pieces, and museum-worthy. Some of these have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme and authenticated the error is. But even here, millions are rare and billions unheard of. Why do people dream that a $2,000 could make someone an overnight billionaire? Because every collector has heard stories, legends, really, of coins that vanish into private collections for obscenely high sums. There have been ultra-rare U.S. coins that commanded multi-million prices at auction. Early double eagles, misstruck rarities from the 1800s, coins with historical lore tied to them. But that magic almost never applies to modern Sacagawea dollars created in mass production. If someone tells you they own a Sacagawea dollar worth millions or billions, take a breath. It's not impossible, but the probability is astronomically low. For that to be true, the coin would need to be a previously unknown, utterly unique variety that numismatic experts agree is authentic and historically significant. Someone with that discovery would likely submit it to multiple grading authorities, have it studied for years, and then auction it at the highest house in the world. Still, the fantasy captures the imagination. One coin, turning a humble owner into a collector king overnight. That's part of why coin collecting has such emotional power. You don't just hold metal, you hold possibility. Maybe it's the weight of history. Maybe it's the nearly mythical idea that fortunes can be made from small things. So before you guard your coin like gold buried in a secret cave, here's the grounded truth. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars are worth face value or modest premiums. A few exceptional examples. Error coins or near-perfect graded pieces, maybe worth hundreds or even thousands. But mind-bending million-plus valuations? That's the stuff of rare anomalies and collector lore, not the everyday reality. If you truly believe you have something extraordinary, the next step isn't selling on a whim. It's professional evaluation. have reputable numismatic grading and authentication services examine the coin. Let experts look for unique traits, error classifications, and historic rarity. Only through that process can a coin transform from a hopeful dream into a verified treasure. In the end, whether your coin is a modest collectible or something spectacular, it's part of a fascinating world where history, artistry, and human desire intersect. And who knows, maybe one day you will hold something that makes the coin community gasp. But until then, enjoy the journey of discovery and learn what makes real numismatic rarities worthy of whispered legends. The story of the 1954 Franklin half dollar begins with elegance, history, and quiet power. At first glance, it may look like just another old silver coin, but hidden within its design and rarity lies a world that collectors chase with passion. Featuring the calm and wise face of Benjamin Franklin, this coin represents more than currency. It carries a legacy that has grown stronger with time. When the coin was struck at the United States Mint, it was never imagined that decades later, collectors would examine every detail under magnification, searching for perfection. The 1954 version came from multiple mint marks, including Philadelphia No Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Each one carries its own story, and some are far rarer than others depending on the condition and striking quality. What truly elevates the value of a 1954 Franklin half dollar is not just its age, but its condition. Coins that have never been circulated, known as mint state, can shine with a brilliance that feels almost untouched by time. These coins, especially those graded at the highest levels, become treasures that collectors are willing to pay significant amounts for. However, it's important to understand that not every 1954 coin is extremely valuable. Only the finest examples reach premium prices. There's a special feature collectors often hunt for in Franklin half dollars called full bell lines. On the reverse side of the coin, the Liberty Bell is displayed, and when the lines at the bottom of the bell are fully visible and sharp, it signals a superior strike. Coins with this feature, especially from 1954s, are much rarer and can command much higher prices compared to ordinary versions. The idea that this coin can instantly make someone a billionaire overnight is more fantasy than reality. While some rare coins do sell for very high prices, most 1954 Franklin half dollars fall within a moderate collector range. Still, certain top-grade coins, especially those with full bell lines, can reach thousands of dollars, which is impressive for a piece of silver once used in everyday transactions. The silver content itself adds to the coin's intrinsic value. Made of 90% silver, the Franklin half dollar holds not just historical importance, but also metal worth. Even in lower conditions, its silver content ensures it always carries some baseline value. This is why collectors and investors alike are drawn to it. It's a blend of history and tangible wealth. What makes the 1954 S version particularly intriguing is its reputation for weaker strikes. This means finding one with strong details is much harder, increasing its desirability. A well-preserved 1954 S coin with sharp features can stand out dramatically in auctions and private collections, sometimes becoming the centerpiece of an entire set. Collectors often describe the thrill of finding a rare Franklin half dollar as a moment of discovery. It's not just about money. It's about holding a piece of the past. The weight, the shine, and the craftsmanship all come together to create something that feels alive with history. For many, that emotional connection is just as valuable as the price tag. The design itself carries symbolism that resonates deeply. Benjamin Franklin, known for wisdom and innovation, is paired with the Liberty Bell, a symbol of freedom and independence. Together, they create a coin that tells a story about a nation's identity, making it more meaningful than ordinary currency. In today's market, values can fluctuate depending on demand, grading, and collector interest. While you may hear exaggerated claims of millions, the truth is more grounded. Exceptional coins can sell for high prices, but realistic expectations are important. Knowledge is the real power. Knowing what to look for can make all the difference. If you happen to own a 1954 Franklin half dollar, the first step is to examine its condition carefully. Look at the shine, the sharpness of details, and especially the Liberty Bell lines. Even small differences can change the coin's value significantly. This is where patience and attention become your greatest tools. Professional grading services can also play a major role in unlocking a coin's true worth. A certified high-grade coin gains credibility in the market, making it easier to sell and often increasing its price. Serious collectors rely heavily on these grades when making purchasing decisions. It's also wise not to rush into selling. The market for collectible coins can change, and holding on to a rare or high-quality piece might bring better returns in the future. However, decisions should always be based on knowledge, not hype or unrealistic promises. In the end, the 1954 Franklin half dollar is a fascinating blend of history, art, and value. While it may not turn every owner into a billionaire overnight, it still holds the potential to be a valuable and meaningful possession. For those who understand its story and rarity, it can indeed feel like holding a small but powerful piece of treasure in the palm of their hand. The story of the 1952 Liberty Franklin half dollar begins with a quiet piece of American history that many people overlook, yet collectors across the world recognize its hidden power. Struck during the golden age of silver coinage, this coin carries not just metal value, but a legacy tied to craftsmanship, scarcity, and the timeless image of Benjamin Franklin. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary 50-cent piece, but for those who understand the market, it can represent a life-changing discovery. The 1952 Franklin half dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint produced coins in large numbers, yet not all coins are created equal. The true value lies in condition, rarity of certain strikes, and subtle details that only experienced collectors notice. Among these, the San Francisco mint coins often attract special attention, especially when found in pristine, uncirculated condition. What makes this coin truly fascinating is not just its silver content, but the potential for extraordinary value in rare cases. While most 1952 half dollars trade for modest amounts based on their silver weight, a perfectly preserved specimen with sharp details, original luster, and know-where can command astonishing prices. In elite auctions, such coins have reached into thousands of dollars, and under exceptional circumstances, even more when tied to unique minting characteristics. One of the most important features collectors examine is the full bell lines detail on the reverse side of the coin. The Liberty Bell design must show complete, uninterrupted lines at the bottom. Coins with this rare feature are far more valuable than ordinary examples. A 1952 S Franklin half dollar with full bell lines in near-perfect condition can multiply in value dramatically, turning what seems like spare change into a prized collectible. The historical backdrop of 1952 adds another layer of intrigue. America was in a post-war era, and coin production reflected both stability and subtle transitions in design standards. These coins circulated heavily, meaning that finding one today in flawless condition is like discovering a preserved moment from the past. That rarity fuels excitement and the high prices seen in the collector's market. It is important to understand that not every 1952 Franklin half dollar will make you rich overnight. The majority have been circulated, worn down, or damaged over decades of use. However, the dream lies in the possibility, the rare chance that a coin sitting unnoticed in a drawer or old collection might be one of those exceptional pieces that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. Grading plays a massive role in determining value. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a strict scale, and even a small difference in grade can mean a huge jump in price. A coin graded mint state, 65 is valuable, but one graded mint state, 67 or higher, enters an entirely different league, where serious collectors and investors compete fiercely. Another factor that can elevate the coin's worth is its originality. Coins that have not been cleaned, polished, or tampered with are far more desirable. Natural toning, especially when it produces beautiful rainbow hues, can significantly increase appeal and price. These visual characteristics often turn a coin into a piece of art as much as a collectible. The silver composition of the Franklin half dollar also contributes to its baseline value. Made of 90% silver, it holds intrinsic worth tied to the global silver market. Even in poor condition, the coin is never truly worthless. But when rarity, condition, and collector demand combine, its value can rise far beyond the metal it contains. The idea of becoming a millionaire overnight from such a coin is exciting, but it should be approached with realism. While extremely rare coins can reach astonishing figures, most valuable Franklin half dollars sell in a range of hundreds to thousands, not millions. However, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of finding a hidden gem is what keeps collectors passionate. Stories of unexpected discoveries continue to inspire people around the world. Someone cleaning out an old family box or inheriting a coin collection might stumble upon a rare Franklin half dollar without realizing its significance. These moments fuel the belief that treasure can still be found in everyday places. Collectors often advise against selling such coins quickly without proper evaluation. A coin that appears ordinary could have rare characteristics that only experts can identify. Taking the time to authenticate and grade the coin can make a significant difference in its final selling price. In today's market, demand for classic American silver coins remains strong. The Franklin half dollar series, with its short production run from 1948 to 1963, holds a special place among collectors. The 1952 issue, especially from the San Francisco Mint with full bell lines, continues to attract attention and competitive bidding. In the end, the 1952 Liberty Franklin half dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of hidden potential. While not every piece will change your life, the rare and perfect examples remind us that extraordinary value can exist in the most unexpected places. Whether you are a collector or simply curious, this coin carries a story of history, rarity, and the thrilling possibility of discovering something truly priceless. The 1956 Franklin half dollar stands as a quiet giant in the world of coin collecting, a piece that doesn't shout its value, but whispers it to those who truly understand rarity, condition, and history. Struck by the United States Mint, this silver coin carries not just metal, but legacy. At first glance, it may look like just another old coin, but under the right circumstances, it can transform into a treasure that collectors fiercely compete for. The year 1956 saw this coin minted in two major locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark. While millions were produced, not all are created equal. What separates an ordinary 1956 Franklin half dollar from an extraordinary one is its condition, strike quality, and the presence of rare features. The truth is, not every coin will make you rich, but the right one absolutely can command astonishing prices. Let's clear one powerful myth. Not every 1956 Franklin half dollar is worth millions. However, a perfectly preserved specimen, graded at the highest levels like MS-66, MS-67, or even higher, can reach into thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. These are coins that look almost untouched by time, with blazing luster and razor-sharp details that make collectors stop and stare. One of the most important features that drives value is something known as full bell lines, FBL. On the reverse side of the coin, the Liberty Bell is shown, and if the horizontal lines at the bottom are fully visible and unbroken, the coin earns a special designation. A 1956 coin with full bell lines is far rarer than a regular strike, and dramatically more valuable. Philadelphia minted coins from 1956 are more common, but even among them, high-grade examples with full bell lines are scarce. These coins, when found in near-perfect condition, can fetch impressive sums at auctions. Collectors are always hunting for that flawless specimen that stands above the rest. The San Francisco S mint mark version adds another layer of intrigue. While these coins are also widely available in circulated condition, finding one in pristine, uncirculated form with strong details is significantly harder. This rarity drives demand, and demand drives price. Now imagine holding a coin that has survived decades without a scratch, without dullness, without losing its shine. That's the kind of 1956 Franklin half dollar that collectors dream about. These coins are often locked away in protective cases, graded by professional services, and traded like pieces of fine art. But here's where things get truly exciting: errors and anomalies. If your 1956 coin has a minting error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or unusual flaw, its value can skyrocket. These errors are accidental, rare, and highly desirable. A simple mistake at the mint can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's jackpot. Still, becoming a billionaire overnight from this coin alone is not realistic. That kind of expectation can lead to disappointment or poor decisions. The real power of this coin lies in knowledge, understanding what you have, how rare it is, and how to present it in the market. Condition is everything. A worn-out coin that has been passed through many hands will typically be worth its silver content plus a small premium. But a coin that has never been circulated, never cleaned, and preserved in its original state can be worth hundreds or even thousands of times more. Serious collectors don't just look at coins. They study them. They examine the shine, the edges, the tiniest details. They look for originality, not artificial shine. Cleaning a coin, for example, can destroy its value instantly. So if you have a 1956 Franklin half dollar, protecting it properly is crucial. The market for such coins is driven by auctions, collector demand, and rarity reports. When a top-grade 1956 Franklin half dollar appears, it often sparks intense bidding. Collectors know these opportunities don't come often, and when they do, they act fast. Owning this coin is like holding a piece of mid-20th century America in your hand. It carries the image of Benjamin Franklin, one of history's most respected figures, and represents a time when coins were still made with real silver, something that added intrinsic value beyond collectability. In the end, the 1956 Franklin half dollar is not just about money. It's about discovery, patience, and potential. If you happen to own one, don't rush to sell it. Take the time to understand it, evaluate it, and maybe even have it graded. Because while not every coin will change your life overnight, the right one, under the right conditions, can certainly change your future. The Franklin half dollar is more than just a piece of silver. It is a doorway into history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and for some collectors, a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. First minted in 1948 by the United States Mint, this coin honors the legacy of Benjamin Franklin, one of the most respected figures in American history. By 1951, the coin had already gained popularity, and today it stands as a prized collectible among numismatists around the world. When people talk about million-dollar coins, they often imagine rare errors or extremely limited mintages. The truth is, most 1951 Franklin half dollars are not worth millions, but certain rare conditions, exceptional grades, and unique mint errors can push their value far beyond ordinary expectations. Understanding this difference is what separates an everyday coin holder from a serious collector who recognizes hidden value. The 1951 Franklin half dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Each mint produced coins with slightly different characteristics. Among these, the San Francisco mint coins are often considered more desirable in higher grades due to their relatively lower mintage and the challenge of finding them in pristine condition. What truly makes a 1951 Franklin half dollar valuable is not just its age or silver content, but its condition. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS 65, MS 66, or higher, can fetch impressive prices at auctions. These coins must have sharp details, brilliant luster, and minimal imperfections. A perfectly preserved coin can feel almost untouched by time, as if it just left the mint decades ago. Another crucial factor is the full bell lines designation. On the reverse side of the coin, the Liberty Bell is featured, and the horizontal lines at the bottom must be fully visible and unbroken. Coins with this rare feature are highly sought after because they represent superior strike quality. A 1951 Franklin half dollar with full bell lines can command significantly higher prices than a regular one. Now, while stories of coins making people instantly rich are exciting, it's important to stay grounded. A typical 1951 Franklin half dollar in average circulated condition may only be worth a modest amount based on its silver content. However, rare specimens, especially those in near-perfect condition, have been sold for thousands of dollars, and in exceptional cases, even more. Collectors are always hunting for unique mint errors, and the 1951 series is no exception. Off-center strikes, doubled dies, or unusual planchet errors can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. These rare mistakes are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike, and that uniqueness drives their value higher in the collector's market. The silver content of the coin also plays a role in its value. Each Franklin half dollar contains 90% silver, which means it holds intrinsic worth based on current silver prices. Even if the coin is not rare, it still carries a base value that fluctuates with the global silver market, giving it a safety net of worth. The emotional appeal of the coin cannot be ignored either. Holding a 1951 Franklin half dollar is like holding a piece of post-war American history. It connects you to a time when coins were crafted with care and purpose, not just for spending, but as symbols of national pride and identity. For serious collectors, the thrill lies in finding that one exceptional piece, the coin that stands out from the rest. It might be hidden in an old collection, passed down through generations, or discovered in an unexpected place. The idea that such a coin could dramatically change your financial situation adds to the excitement and mystery. However, it's essential to approach this world with knowledge rather than hype. Not every 1951 Franklin half dollar will make you wealthy overnight. The market rewards rarity, condition, and authenticity. Without these factors, even a beautiful coin may not reach extraordinary values. Authentication and grading are key steps if you believe you own a valuable specimen. Professional grading services can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade that determines its market value. This process adds credibility and can significantly increase buyer confidence if you decide to sell. Patience is another important element. The value of collectible coins can rise over time, especially as demand increases and high-quality examples become scarcer. Holding on to a rare coin instead of selling it too quickly can sometimes lead to much greater rewards in the future. In the end, the 1951 Franklin half dollar is not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the possibility of hidden value. While it may not instantly turn you into a billionaire, the right coin in the right condition can still be life-changing. The real power lies in understanding what you have and recognizing when you're holding something truly special. The story of a 1960 Franklin half dollar begins with the unmistakable profile of Benjamin Franklin, a symbol of wisdom, innovation, and early American identity. This coin, minted in the United States Mint, carries not just silver, but history itself. When you hold it in your hand, you're not just holding money. You're holding a frozen moment from a powerful era of American craftsmanship and economic strength. In 1960, this coin was produced in two major mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D. Each version has its own story, its own rarity, and its own hidden potential. While millions were struck, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine, untouched condition. These rare survivors are the ones collectors chase, and the ones that can command breathtaking prices. The composition of the 1960 Franklin half dollar is another reason it captures so much attention. Made from 90% silver and 10% copper, it carries intrinsic value even beyond its collectible worth. But what truly transforms an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure is its condition. A coin graded at the highest levels, with full mint luster and sharp details, can be worth far beyond imagination. Now imagine discovering a 1960 Franklin half dollar with a flawless surface, blazing mint shine, and perfectly struck features. Coins like these, often graded MS 65, MS 66 or higher, are incredibly rare. When they appear in auctions, they don't just sell, they ignite bidding wars. Collectors and investors alike compete fiercely, driving prices to astonishing levels that can shock even seasoned experts. One of the most powerful factors behind the coin's value is the presence of full bell lines on the reverse, showing the Liberty Bell in crisp perfection. This small detail can make a massive difference. A 1960 coin with full bell lines in top condition can leap from being worth hundreds to thousands of dollars instantly, simply because of its sharpness and rarity. The truth, however, is that not every 1960 Franklin half dollar will make you rich overnight. Circulated coins, those that have been used in everyday transactions, usually carry modest value, often close to their silver content. But the dream, the excitement, lies in the possibility that somewhere, hidden in a collection or an old box, there exists a near-perfect specimen waiting to be rediscovered. There have been moments in the coin-collecting world when exceptional Franklin half dollars have reached extraordinary prices. These are not ordinary coins. They are elite pieces, preserved with care, graded by professional services, and recognized globally. When such a coin enters a market, It becomes a centerpiece, a prize that serious collectors are willing to pay dearly for. The fascination with this coin is also deeply connected to the legacy of Benjamin Franklin himself. His presence on the coin adds intellectual and historical weight. It's not just about silver. It's about heritage, about a man who helped shape a nation, immortalized in metal for generations to admire. Collectors often spend years searching for that one perfect Franklin half-dollar. They examine edges, surfaces, luster, and strike quality under magnification, hoping to find a hidden gem. It's a pursuit that combines patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck, because sometimes the most valuable coins are found where no one expects them. The market for these coins continues to evolve, driven by demand, rarity, and condition. While headlines sometimes exaggerate the idea of becoming a billionaire overnight, the reality is more grounded, but still exciting. A truly exceptional 1960 Franklin half-dollar can absolutely be worth a significant amount, especially if it meets the highest grading standards. Authentication plays a crucial role in unlocking a coin's true value. Without proper certification, even a rare coin might not reach its full potential in the market. Professional grading ensures that the coin's condition and authenticity are recognized, giving buyers confidence and often increasing its final selling price. It's also important to understand that value is not static. As interest in coin collecting grows, and as high-quality examples become harder to find, prices can rise. What might be worth a few $100s today could potentially be worth more in the future, especially if demand continues to increase. For anyone who owns a 1960 Franklin half-dollar, the key is awareness. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Consider having it evaluated by experts. Because while many coins are common, a rare and pristine example could quietly hold surprising value. In the end, the 1960 Franklin half-dollar is a blend of history, artistry, and possibility. It may not instantly turn every owner into a billionaire, but in the right condition, it has the power to become a truly valuable asset. And sometimes, that possibility alone is enough to spark the thrill of discovery. The idea that a small piece of silver could hold a big secret waiting to be revealed.